Hello, this is James Marland of the Scaling Therapy Practice. I'm excited to introduce season 3 of the Scaling Therapy Practice. The first season was David Hall and myself, and we talked about growing your practice. It was very beneficial to have David as my partner for about 40 episodes, and he had a wealth of information. It was great to talk to him. I could often find myself talking to him for hours about just growing a practice. And then season 2 was all about marketing, and we had Lisa Mustard and Steve Besaw and Don Gabriel. They were the co-hosts, and we had some interesting guests. We talked about marketing and how to market your private practice. Moving forward, I don't have co-hosts, so what am I going to do? Because I feel like there's so many great therapy podcasts out there about businesses, about growing your practice, about building your private practice. Not being a therapist myself, I felt like this would have to be just a big interview show where I could get guests on, which there's already people out there doing that. So I was thinking, what could I do to benefit the community of helpers? So moving forward, the Scaling Therapy Practice, at least for season 3 here, is going to be focused on helping therapists develop online courses to get them, to help them develop a product line or something that can help them earn a little bit of revenue or help some more people. That's not just seeing more people in the chair, like getting them out of the chair. So I want to empower mission-driven helpers to launch life-changing online courses. Say that again. I want to empower mission-driven helpers to launch life-changing online courses. I'm going to unpack that a little bit because this statement is something I've been working on for probably a year. Like, what do I actually do? What am I trying to do? Who are the type of people that touch my heart? Who do I want to spend a lot of time helping and use my gifts helping? So let me unpack that. So I empower. The I empower means I'm just the spark. I'm not the person doing the work. I'm sort of like the catalyst to help people get going and get moving. Like many of you who are listening to this probably have an idea of who you can help, who you are irrationally passionate about, where you have a mission. You want to help those people, but you just don't know how to get that out besides just doing what you've been doing, which is meeting people in groups or individually for your therapy sessions. So how do you get beyond that? So I want to empower people to move beyond what they're already doing or to grow and expand. The second part, though, is very important to me. It's mission-driven helpers. I want to help people who are on a mission to help other people. And you can probably think, if you're thinking about who do I want to help, like who are my group of people that I can help the best, that I can help the quickest, that I have a way of helping them, and I love doing it. There's a lot of them, and they can pay me to do it. You know who those people are. You have an idea of who those people are. You know who you want to work with and who energize you and who are your must-haves. And you know the people that drain you and that you would rather see less of them. It's not that they're bad people or bad clients. It's just they don't quite fit your dream life or your dream client. So I want to help the people who have a mission. If you can fill out this phrase, I am on a mission to, and then just what is the first thing that comes to mind? I'm on a mission to help this group of people do this or eradicate. I think of Mike Michalowicz as I'm on a mission to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. I'm like, oh, that's a great way to say it. And and on the flip side, he's on a mission to make profitable entrepreneurs. So what's your mission? What's your mission? I want to help people who are mission-driven helpers. The next part is launch. Like you already have the idea. You're already doing something. I want to help you take what you're doing and launch it into a new area. A lot of the therapists I've been talking to or helping, they're frustrated by the technology. They're frustrated by all the things they have to learn. They're frustrated about How do they get their course online? How do they record it? How do they do the video? Where do you find your clients for it? How do you market? How do you partner with people? What's a webinar? What's a lead magnet? All those things that I've been working with for the last 2 years and even before, but more full time in the last 2 years. All those things I can help people with. So I want to help people launch. Being the science fiction nerd that I am, I love rockets and things that go way high in the sky and fireworks. I love watching the fireworks take off. It's very exciting to me. So I love the vision of launching. We're launching. We're going somewhere. We're moving. We're doing something. So I want to help mission-driven helpers launch what their next stage, and then a life-changing online courses. Why life-changing? Why did I choose life-changing? Why did I add that descriptive word? Because I am motivated by people who want to help other people. I'm motivated by people who see something in other people, even when they don't see it themselves. And so I want to not that so I've had conversations about money with other people, and they're like, "Oh, you gotta make money." And yes, of course you have to make money. Of course you have to make money in the business. The more successful you are, the more people you can help. It just makes sense. You have to be able to make money, but making money is not necessarily the big motivator for me. I want to make money so I can continue to grow the business and help more people. But the first thing I want to do is make somebody's life better. So that motivates me. What doesn't motivate me is people who are manipulative or disingenuous or trying to take money away from people without providing the transformation. So I want to help people who are trying to provide the transformation in exchange for the value that they get back. So life-changing. I want to help people who want to help other people change their lives and make it better. I think of the therapist who is working with people who have experienced trauma and betrayal in their life. That is somebody that is on a mission. They are irrationally passionate about helping other people deal with their betrayal and trauma. That speaks to me. I work in it's called Regeneration. I volunteer. I don't work. I volunteer in a program called Regeneration, where it's a 12-step recovery program for people who have hurts, hangups, and habits that have destroyed their life. They don't know what to do about it, and they don't feel like they have acceptance, or they have a place where they can talk about what they're going through, especially with the church. And so every Monday night, I go and greet new people and help them get connected with a group where they can experience hope and love. And so anyways, the therapist who I'm working with, who is dealing with people with betrayal and that sort of trauma, that speaks to me. I'm already doing that. Like, I'm already helping people in that sort of area experience love and community that they might not have experienced otherwise. So that's just one example. I think of another example of life-changing. This is another faith-based example, but there was somebody I talked to who has a passion for working with trauma kids, going to youth groups and working with pastors and volunteers, because trauma kids burn those people out, and then they're asked not to come to church, and then the trauma kids fall through the cracks, and they don't experience love and community from where you would expect people to experience love and community from a church. So they look for those people, those trauma victims, look for, I use the word victim. Sorry, therapists, if that offended you. But anyways, the people who have experienced trauma, and those children, those teenagers, don't experience the love and community that the other kids do, and they fall through the cracks. So this person was irrationally passionate about helping youth leaders understand what's going on so that those kids don't fall through the cracks. Those are the types of things. And those are just two minor examples. There's hundreds. There's hundreds of examples of people helping other people make their lives different. And that's what I want to do. I want to launch life-changing courses, online courses. Finally, why online courses? Online courses is just something that makes sense. It's something I know how to do. I work with technology. I know how to put it onto sites like Kajabi. I know how to do the Canva things. I know Zoom or webinars. I like microphones and lighting and technology. So anyways, I know how to get people further than where they are. Also, online courses are fairly easy to produce. They're easy to update. They're cheap. You can do it with a phone and a microphone, like your phone camera, and then a microphone like this little thing here. If you see the camera, I just have these little microphones. They was like $30, and you can they're lapel mics, so you can do that and make your program. So it's cheap. It's cheap to do, and cheaper than other businesses like writing books or whatever. And it's easily accessible. Online courses are anybody with a smartphone can reach them, so they're not bound by distance. They're not bound by time. You can do them whenever. So they're easy to do. You have the information already in your head. So I love online courses. They're cheap to produce, and because it's online, you produce it once. You have the one cost basically, and then the time commitment goes way down after you create it. You still have to promote it, but after you create it, your time commitment goes down. So just to recap, I empower mission-driven helpers to launch life-changing online courses. Season 3 is all about launching life-changing online courses. So what's the roadmap here? So I'm going to assume this is going to take 30 to 50 episodes. I wrote out I wrote out an outline, but as I get recording it, some of those subjects might bloom into like a series, 3 or 4 series rather than one episode. So the idea for season 3, you listen to season 3 from beginning to end, from episode 1 to 0, you will be able to go from idea to implementation with your online course. My promise to you, I want you to be able to launch your dream, launch your online course. I am going to have interviews with people who have launched their online course and talk about their struggles and what has helped them and what hasn't helped them. If you have an online course that you've produced, or if you have an online course that you started to produce and you got sidetracked, I want to hear about that. So you can email me at james@coursecreationstudio.com, james@coursecreationstudio.com. So I'm going to be interviewing people. I'm going to be going over the elements that you're going to need for an online course, and I'm going to provide tools, tips, and templates. The templates will be for people who have who subscribe to the newsletter. So if you subscribe to the newsletter, if I have a template in the episode, I will have a link for that or a way to access that template. The roadmap. So I already have it's basically a course for people to take their idea to research to creating your online course. I already have that created, but I'm going to create a course for the people who just want to get a taste of it, and how to create a course in 5 hours. Like, what if you have 5 hours, you have 5 cancellations or maybe 10 cancellations, how can you create a course in that time? So that's going to come out hopefully in the next month or two, as I continue to develop this content. So I'm going to have an intro course to my main course. When I get to 1,000 people in the newsletter, and I'm up to about 400 or 500 right now. So when I double my newsletter, I'm going to launch a community group where people can ask questions and get some feedback there. So that will be coming. And then after I develop the 5-hour course, I am going to relaunch the Build a Business course into a cohort. So if you wanted it, how I've typically done it is I meet with people for 3 months and we develop a course together. So that is the roadmap. It's a lot of work, but I am just as irrationally passionate about helping people launch online courses as I hope you are irrationally passionate about who you can help. I'm just very excited about getting the work out there. Personally, I wish there was more support for me when I adopted my son. We did go through counseling. We did go through the adoption agency, working for mental health and a shelter program and doing all sorts of crisis intervention training didn't hurt. But I also felt alone and out there, and I wish there were easier access to some of the courses. And then I have friends who have adopted kids, and they're going through some of the same things. And my parents, they actually adopted somebody in their 50s. They're in their 70s now, and she is a teenager, and they're looking for more support. And it would be, my dream would be people who are looking for those types of support, those community groups, the resources, the education, would be able to find something like that easily accessible, cheaply, and just something that would benefit and change their life. If they're looking for it, I want to be able to help a therapist provide a therapist, a social worker, a coach, a counselor, those people who are passionate about helping people. I want to get their work out there so people don't have to suffer like I did, or suffer like my parents did or my friends did with their particular issue. Specifically for me, it was around adoption and dealing with some of the struggles. So that's the roadmap. That's what's going on for the Scaling Therapy Practice Season 3. I'm very excited about this. I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. There might not be an episode next week just because I'm going to be trying to batch some of my work and record, just get the most out of my time and my recording time. And I found that I do best when I work a whole day on something and then complete it, rather than work an hour here, an hour on that, especially with creative projects like that. If you want to be interviewed, contact me, James at CourseCreationStudio.com. I have a form you can fill out. We'll talk about that. And if you have questions, definitely if you have questions or problems, like what stopped you from creating your course, let me know. It will certainly be addressed as we go on for Season 3. All right. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.